There are serious concerns now that in the last 2 weeks of Parliament, Scott Morrison is trying to rush through new laws that are unconstitutional. That is, laws that the Parliament doesn't even have the power to pass. His new laws would deny millions of Australians access to justice in the courts against big corporations. Now, class actions are lawsuits where everyday Australians can come together and take on rich and powerful defendants who've done the wrong thing. If Scott Morrison's new laws are passed, then cases like robo-debt, where the Commonwealth itself was acting illegally, would not happen. Wage theft cases, like against Domino's Pizza, for serial underpayment of delivery drivers and workers, or underpayment of Aboriginal workers for decades, and cases against big banks, like happened against Westpac for ripping off life insurance customers. These are the kind of cases that could never happen under Morrison's new laws. Now, Labor is fighting this attack on the rights of everyday Australians. But when I asked in the Parliament to explain, the Attorney General's Department to explain how these laws are even constitutional, look what happened. This is not good enough.
So the point we're at now, because of the rush process, is you can't give an assurance to the Parliament that the points which have been raised by the former Solicitor General have been addressed and that you're confident that they don't apply. You're giving a bland assertion of confidence without being able to address the points which are on the table. With respect, that's not exactly reassuring to us as legislators. Have you read the joint opinion by, among others, former Solicitor General Justin Gleeson, which identifies a range of issues which may impact on the constitutional validity of the bill, submission 20?
Yes, we have, Mr Hill.
Mr Gleeson's an eminent barrister, would you agree?
Yes. Yes.
Well, he and two of his colleagues write that, and I quote, "It appears to us that insufficient attention has been given to the source of Commonwealth legislative power to sustain the bill, and in our opinion, some provisions may be beyond power." Could I ask AGD and Treasury, given you said you received, I think, multiple pieces of advice about the constitutionality, what attention was given to the source of the Commonwealth's legislative power to sustain the bill?
Thanks, Mr Hill. So when I indicated earlier that we had received a range of advices, it wasn't just in relation to constitutionality, it was just about the effectiveness of the bill in total, but certainly constitutionality was raised. There's not a lot I can say because the Commonwealth's advice is subject to legal professional privilege, but certainly constitutional issues were raised, and based on the advice that we received, the Commonwealth confident in terms of the constitutionality of the...
Well, yeah, that's great. I'm sure you got lots of legal advice. The topic here is constitutionality, firstly. You've given a very general, bland assurance that don't worry, trust us, we're bureaucrats, it's constitutional. And yet we've got an opinion from the former Solicitor General of the Commonwealth raising, I think, 5 specific issues, 4 or 5, it's late in the day, raising 4 or 5 specific reasons as to why the bill may be unconstitutional. Can you at least give us an assurance, I'm not asking for a copy of your legal advice, but can you at least give us an assurance that the advice you've received covers off on each of the specific areas which the former Solicitor General has raised? Each and every one of them.
Mr Hill, I think we need to take that on notice. Certainly the constitutional issues that we think are most applicable to this bill, as I said earlier, we have confidence in terms of the legal advice we received. In terms of having the discussion, I think that would be jeopardising any claim for legal professional privilege, and I know that doesn't...
Yeah, okay, yeah, we're going around in circles, I get that, that's your assertion. The specific question then I'm asking, if you can take on notice, is as of today, you said you'd received advice on the constitutionality of the bill. I'd like a written assurance that the advice you've received which backs up your confidence or claim that the bill is constitutional, doesn't have constitutional problems, addresses each and every one of the points that the former Solicitor General had made. Is that understood?
We'll take that on notice, but if in answering that it potentially gives some of the content of the...
Yeah, I get the point about legal professional privilege, and you're right, it doesn't trump parliamentary privilege. I mean, you can claim public interest immunity if you like, but it's difficult to see how you can do that when it's a question of the constitutionality of the bill. This isn't about some litigation that the Commonwealth's involved in or the rights of citizens. This is about your claim to the Parliament that the legislation the government is putting forward is constitutional. It's difficult to see how you can seriously hide behind legal professional privilege on something that's so fundamental when we've got the former Solicitor General of the Commonwealth saying this ain't on. Did you receive an opinion by the current Solicitor General in relation to the bill?
We have.
On the constitutionality of the bill? It's not a trick question.
No, I understand. We did, Mr. Hill.
So you have received, so you're assuring us that the current Solicitor General has signed off on the constitutionality of this bill?
Correct.
Did the current Solicitor General's opinion raise any concerns or questions, or it was just a, nope, no worries, no questions, nothing to see here, charge on?
I think we're getting into the content now, Mr. Hill. So
you're not able to even assure the Parliament that the current Solicitor General gave an unequivocal sign-off that what you're putting forward is even constitutional? Well, I admire your professionalism. I think you've done a good job polishing a turd.